Snowed In for Christmas by Isabella Hargreaves. Narrated by Katie Topping. Forward. With thanks to Brian Sinclair, Anthea Jones, Claire Austin, and Olivia and Becky at Hot Tree Editing for their invaluable comments on the story. Christmas Eve, 1813. A flurry of snow whipped across Robert, Viscount Landers' face. "Tidings of comfort and joy," he muttered. The heir to the Marquess of Linville looked up at the looming grey sky and tried to reassure himself that they would reach his family's country estate before the threatening storm added more snow to that already carpeting the ground. The heavily laden travelling coach he was shadowing lumbered through the stark white landscape. The coachman plied his long whip above the straining horses to keep them moving on the slippery road. Inside the coach were Robert's fiancé, the Honourable Augusta Crawshaw, and her companion and cousin, Miss Eleanor Carlisle. He hoped that they, wrapped in furs with hot bricks at their feet, were still warm. This was Augusta's first visit to his family estate, and his elderly father eagerly awaited their arrival, anxious to meet his future daughter-in-law. The succession plagued him day and night, he had confessed in his last letter to Robert, so this forthcoming marriage was a godsend. Another wind-driven pelting of snow signalled the start of the storm. Their journey had been delayed this morning by Augusta's reluctant start to the day, accompanied by more than one change of outfit. The servants had already been sent ahead with most of the luggage when she'd insisted on one more, so Miss Carlisle had acted as Augusta's lady's maid for her last-minute wardrobe change. Robert, with growing frustration, had watched Miss Carlisle hurry to and from Augusta's room, unpacking and repacking to assuage his fiancée's clothing demands. As a result, the coachman now urged his team along this narrow road, which was quickly disappearing under a shroud of snow. Over the next 10 miles to the gates of the estate, the ground grew whiter. Finally, they entered the estate and followed the long road through woodlands down into the valley it traversed. If they could get to the other side before more snow fell, they would reach Linville House safely. Suddenly the coach lurched at the rough edge of the road and then slid in slow motion sideways into a ditch, accompanied by ribald swearing from the driver and screeching from within. The harness traces snapped and the horses, neighing shrilly, plunged away from the skating carriage. It came to rest, tilted and almost on its side in the ditch. Robert leapt from his horse, clambered aboard the listing coach and opened the upper door. Warm bricks and blankets lay strewn about the interior. Petite Augusta sat tipped across the seat against the side of the carriage, her blonde hair in disarray and her dress bunched at her knees. "Save me, Robert!" Hysteria threaded her wispy voice. Her cousin Eleanor sat mutely on the battered floor. Face cradled in her hands, Augusta began to scream. "Hush, my dear," he said. "I'm here to help you." The cacophony rebounded around the small space. "Augusta, you're safe. Don't fret," Eleanor said. Augusta continued to scream. Eleanor stretched forward to hug her cousin. That did not quieten her. Augusta's screeching became more hysterical. After a few moments of the banshee noise in her ear, Eleanor pulled away and lightly slapped her cousin's face. Augusta blinked like a startled kitten and opened her Cupid's bow mouth to suck in a deep, shuddering breath as though about to start her caterwauling again. "Do not scream again, Augusta. There is nothing to be achieved by doing so." Eleanor patted her cousin's arm as she gave her firm command. Shocked, but grateful for this intervention, Robert offered his hand to Augusta. "Come, my dear, let me assist you out of there." Instead of complying, she shrank away from him. "No, I can't." "I will help you climb out if you give me your hand. You can't stay in here."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?